keep coming back to you.
For most of y'all, unless you've been living on rock, you already know that, the Batman came out. So, real quick, we're just going to get to the rating real quick. How would you rate this movie?
I gave it, I think we said 6.5, 7, 6.
I might change that. It might have went up.
I think I'm still giving it a 7.
Because they didn't tell you the breakdown of it.
Yeah, I know. I'm going off the initial watch. I gotta watch it again. From the initial watch, I gave it a 7.
Oh, initial watch.
Yeah.
You are.
Well,
Yo, my initial watch, from like really watching it, like even when I initially watched them, because I do pay a lot of attention to detail. That's just how I am, especially when a movie I've really been waiting to see, like. So, especially with some of these like darker movies, especially like with Batman, because it's such a detective movie. So it's like you gotta pay attention to shit. So with initial watch, I did give it an 8. I gave it an 8.
okay. Yeah.
Like there were some, like it wasn't too perfect, but it was definitely gas. It was definitely something I would watch again.
No, I think for me, I think it was a perfect movie for year 2. If you're going off. That's the thing. Everyone had pre-assumptions of what this Batman movie was going to be prior to going to it. So if you take it at face value, then like I would say it's a perfect movie just depicting Batman year 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, because it didn't show him as a super detective because he's not.
Yeah, he still has his flaws.
Yeah.
So that was one thing I was thinking about, but then when I actually realized that this is like year 2, this is just when he's starting to become Batman, I'm like, okay, now I kind of get the flaw. Because towards the end of the movie, I'm just like, how would Batman let that happen? But it's like, okay, he's still somewhat of an amateur. So it's like, okay, cool.
Like in comparison to this movie, I would say it's similar to like a James Bond, like the newer, like the snowfalls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
For the simple fact that like we weren't given as much access to Batman's gadgets, layer, cars.
I mean,
think of it.
We did have some access to it. We got the car. We got his
I'm saying comparing them to like the James Bonds, they're almost similar because if you go back like old James Bonds and old Batmans, you get more Q, you get more Alfred, you get more of the Batcave, you get more of his gadgets compared to the new Daniel Craig. And this Batman is more focusing on the character development rather than his
rather than what makes him Batman.
His scenery.
Batman so many
right.
Times, it's good to just go into development.
Right. So that's
I mean, especially with like this one where he's just becoming Batman, he's just starting to really just.
Because like the tech was dope. Like if you go,
I actually did like the
contacts,
the tech, like the contact lens that was supposed to be like a camera.
Now was it a radio? Was it a radio and camera?
I think
she was talking right at it, right? If it wasn't, I remember seeing when she looked down at the eye and was chatting at him like, "Yo, you hear me?" And I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I think it was. Which I just want to know how that, like, depending on the time period, like how you get that kind of technology.
No.
She had an earpiece in.
She had an earpiece in.
And then you got to think about this is your reboot of. If Batman was to start today.
Now, yeah.
So it's like more current. Okay.
Right. Because it took me a second as well.
I mean, because if this is basically like after Joker, then Joker was like, what was it, in the 80s?
No, but it's not after Joker.
It's not.
Nah. Because it's not even the same. It's not even the same time period. To be fair, like
we thought it was supposed to be a '90s time period. Mm-hmm. That's just how he did cinematography.
Yeah.
He wanted to look like a comic book. At the same time while being a real movie.
That's why I said it. That's why I compared it. That's why I'm comparing it to James Bond because it was so. It's still current. It's like happening now in the current now of Gotham. But that's the new story that they're telling of Gotham now.
I think the problem that we had is that we was expecting the same Batman we normally get.
Right.
This one was a little rough around the edges, not getting everything correct, and his ass knocked out like 15 times.
Nah,
like every single time he got shot with a shotgun, it's just like
I was about to say that.
I'm like, wait a second, like Yeah,
the shotguns were realistic. The shotguns were realistic. 'Cause
Like,
he
he blew
got
his ass back.
boom. Now, but the assault rifles in that hallway scene when it was all the lights were out, and you just come on,
like,
dog. You ain't get hit in the chin.
in the
You ain't,
chin.
you know what I'm saying? You ain't get grazed. Come on, fam. Not one ricochet hit you.
I mean, you can go all into detail, try to be as realistic as possible, but this is still a movie, so it's like you can't be too realistic.
I feel like hearing from I heard it from another comedian who gave a perspective. Shout out to Tony Baker, but he said that he wanted Batman to have chapped lips, and I agree with him. I agree. If you find like the chapped lip, yeah,
Dude, we saw this man have like freaking dark, like the whole
I understand.
freaking
no chapped lips. Your man was using lip chapstick all day.
the man's eyes look like they got sunk in, staying up all night.
And
Like,
that's
come on,
why
man.
he should be dehydrated, chapped lips. And then you imagine getting yeeted up by a man with chapped lips. Where is she? Like, all right, fam. I'll tell you what that's you wild. You don't care about your lips.
Right?
You
play
square.
football? You play football at any point in time?
Football? No.
Basketball?
Wrestling, you done wrestling though, right?
Yeah.
Walk.
How
Actually,
was your lip?
yeah. And
Especially if they trying to dehydrate y'all. Y'all
Oh
got
yeah.
to wait.
Yeah. During
next you get that crack in the middle. You got that crack when you
had that a whole
trying not
bunch
to
of times.
split. Batman now have Batman deal with that all day. That's the type of anger he going out with criminals. He needs the energy. He should have that chapped lip energy.
This look like an insert for Bliss Sticks.
Burt's Beasley to hit his ass up. You know what I'm saying?